I'm distracted. I mean, she's so unbelievably cute. So in about a minute, we'll start with the demo of what Ginger can do. This is Ginger, and Scott's Ginger's handler, aka Dad. So Ginger is our electronics device sniffing dog, so she can find hidden devices. And we're gonna show off what she can do. So Scott?
Good afternoon, thank you for coming out. My name is Scott Saul, but we don't care about that. What you care about is Ginger. Ginger and I work in the Los Angeles field office. We're the canine unit team up there, and what we do is we go out on search warrants, and Ginger searches for hidden electronic devices. So there's a few in the country, there's a lot around the world, but we're the only one out here in California. We have 2 in the FBI, 1 in New Jersey, and then she's the West Coast canine. So what we do is when the FBI is doing investigations and we execute search warrants on offenders' houses, a lot of times every crime pretty much has digital devices that they use to either commit the crime or transmit information. So what we do is we go in, the search teams go in and search the buildings and residences, houses, whatever we're searching. And when they're done, we go in and we look for whatever's overlooked or hidden. And basically the way this program all started is there was a canine handler up in Indiana that trained his dog to search for hidden electronic devices. He had a friend that was doing child porn investigations, and they were wondering like what kind of devices they had been missing, because you could hide stuff on a micro SD card, you could hide thousands of images. And so this trainer got the idea to train his dog to search for electronics. And so he trained his dog to search for electronics. This was up in Indiana. And Jared Fogle, the Subway spokesman, you guys know who Jared Fogle is? Okay, so he turned out to be a pedophile. And so what happened is they were searching his house up in Indiana, and they finished searching the house and they sent the dog in, and the dog alerted on a wall outlet plate, and they unscrewed the plate, pulled it back, and there was a hidden USB flash drive behind there, and that contained all his images of child pornography that he was secretly hiding, and that's what got him sent to prison. And so what she does is she goes in at the end and looks for stuff. She searches all the outlets and looks for, she can do micro SD cards, USB flash drives, hard drives, cell phones, all that stuff. And we've had great success. We've been together for about 2 years now. She was trained locally in California by Centurion Canine, which is the one that trained us. So I don't know how long it took to train her, but once she was trained and showed that she could work, then I came into the picture and became her dad, so to speak. And then we trained together for about 3 months, and we've been together ever since for about the last 2.5 years. She lives with me, goes home with me. She's the sister to my other dog, and we're one big happy family. So there's a couple chemicals that she's trained to alert on. One is called TPPO, and that's used to reduce heating on circuit boards. So it covers the circuit boards. It's kind of like a white film on circuit boards if you look at hard drives. So she's trained to alert on that chemical. And then optical media such as DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs that can also store data. She's trained to alert on the chemical that coats that. Like one of the Chinese sides is H2K. And that's another chemical that she's trained to alert on. So what we're going to do, she's a government employee, as you can tell. So this is kind of what she does most of the time. But once it's time to work, she becomes a superhero and her attitude completely changes. When I do computer forensics, so she kind of lays at my feet in her bed all day in our office, and this is what she does. But when it's time to work, we bring her out. She works for about 1 to 3 hours when we do searches, depending on the size of the residence. Sometimes we're searching studios, sometimes we're searching mansions up in the Hollywood Hills. So sometimes, depending on how much stuff they have, and unfortunately, especially pedophiles are kind of hoarders, so the whole house is a mess. But she works her way through all of it. And so I'm going to give you guys a demo. So would anybody like to hide the phone for us? Okay. You're the victim. So I'm going to hide her so she doesn't see it. So if she doesn't see it, I'm going to let her hide it, whichever one you want. Or I'm going to put her over here. I'm done. Okay.
I don't know if they gave us permission to share the slide. Should we double check? That might be one.
So we're kinder, gentler around here. So what we do is she doesn't even know she's working. This is a game to her. And so she's kind of knows what's about to happen. But once this tennis ball comes out, what she works for, she will do anything for this ball. So what I do is I pretend like I'm hiding it wherever I want her to search. So if we're searching a house, we kind of do room by room, and I'll pretend like I'm hiding the ball in the room. And then I send her in and she looks for it. And she's smart enough to know that it's not the ball she's looking for, but she knows she gets the ball when she finds the device. So what I'm going to do is pretend like I'm hiding the ball in all three of these boxes. And then I'm going to give her her command. And she's a California dog, so she speaks English. So she has a super secret command called Find It. So once I tell her that, she'll go search the boxes, and when she finds it, she sits. So that's her cue, and her feet will kind of do a little dance, and she gets excited because she knows she's about to get her ball. So we'll go ahead and begin. Show me. Now she's away. All right, if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask? Sure.
That's right.
Don't take it out of the box.
Move the boxes. Okay.
So the owner's already
We got it.
started to build theirs.
Okay, got it.
Find it.
I'll have it in the air.
Okay, now do you guys have any questions? Yes, sir.
How long does it take to train a dog on certain chemicals like sniffing versus electronics or something else?
Sorry about that.
So I don't know how long it took to originally train her. She was trained and showed that she could do the work before we got her. But we've trained her on certain chemicals since then, and it only took about 5 minutes. Once she's trained to do this, if you wanted to search something else, it just took about 5 minutes. You just do repetition. So I would put whatever order I want her to find, I put in a box, and every time she goes to it, you make her sit and you just keep rewarding her, and she knows, hey, every time I smell this, I sit and I get the ball. So that's how that works.
What's the most common type of things you want the dog to find?
We look for storage devices, they're our specialty, so flash drives, hard drives, cell phones, stuff like that. Anything that can store data that we're looking for.
So what does she get to do for fun since she doesn't get to chase a ball normally?
Yeah, so that's a good point. The only time she ever gets a tennis ball is when she's working. So for fun, she likes to eat. She likes to smell for cats. She likes to smell people's legs if they have dogs. But we like to go to the beach. She goes on long walks. She's like a perfect dating companion. Long walks on the beach, romantic dinners. She basically likes to eat. Any other questions?
Now, there aren't many of these dogs today.